Hey, Darin, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
I am great. Thank you for joining us this week. Just giving a little bit of time for people to let us know where they're watching. Matt, what's up? Do you want to say hello to our fans?
Hey, fans.
Give a shout out. Alrighty, I
Yeah.
guess we'll get it started. Again, I'm Shannon Biebrick. I'm the digital marketing manager. What's up? What's up? This is Darin. Darin, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
Howdy, I'm Darin Mangum, securities attorney for Stoners Haven, and probably spent a lot of time with Judy and the team, and yeah, excited to be on the show.
He's downplaying it. He's really like a wizard when it comes to all the legalities and stuff. So he's being humble, guys. Just
I think I'm wearing the right color today, right? The green, right?
yeah,
It kind of goes along with the
exactly. See,
plants, right?
already in sync. And green means money. And that's what these
Green is
people
money.
want, profit. They want to make money. So
It's true.
awesome. So with getting the legal stuff right and making sure it's the key to a smart investment and everything, we're really excited to hear more about the key aspects and all that. But before we dive on in, would you mind giving everyone a little bit of your background and just kind of letting them know a little bit more about your area of expertise and your role in Stoners Haven?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I've been practicing securities law for about 24 years now, which doesn't seem like that long, but I look at the calendar and it's like, whoa, where'd those 24 years go? Yeah, we practice nationwide. We've got an office in Puerto Rico. Shane and I were speaking before the show started, and I'm usually either in Salt Lake City, which is where I'm at now, or I'm in Puerto Rico, which is green. Speaking of green, it's green all year round, and so I'm either one of those two places. But yeah, originally from Houston, Texas. I was telling Shannon it's flat, flat as a pancake, but super nice people. But yeah, started my securities law firm 24 years ago, and yeah, we deal with entrepreneurs different types, ranging from real estate to cryptocurrency to energy projects, pharmaceutical companies, and obviously cannabis companies. We've had a number of cannabis related clients over the years, and of course Stoners Haven's our favorite. So anyway, but yeah, we're super glad. It's fun to help entrepreneurs make sure they're doing it properly. It's easy just to jump out there and start raising money, but you don't want to do it wrong, because you might wind up in jail, right? So,
No.
better to do it the right way.
That's yes, for sure.
Anyway, yeah.
Well, I'm excited because I know how helpful you're going to be with this session and enlighten everybody and make everyone feel a little bit more comfortable with investing. And then that's when all the money's going to roll in. So I'm really counting on you tonight, because they're teasing me out there. They watch, they comment, they tag in, and then they're hesitant. I think you're going to be the key. You're the final piece to this puzzle. So I'm excited. They're excited. I can see you're excited. Before we get started, though, I'm going to have you just kind of tell the difference real quick. Just break down and understand the difference between buying stock and then investing directly in a private company like Stoners Haven.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so Stoners Haven is structured as an LLC, limited liability company, and which has all the advantages of, I mean, it could have been structured as a corporation, not a big deal. But the nice thing about an LLC is that it's typically treated as a flow-through entity for tax purposes, which means that any kind of profits or losses from the company is passed through to the shareholders, or to the members. Instead of a shareholder, they call them a member of the company. And and in other words, the dollar is only taxed once, right? When you receive it, right? Instead of if it was a corporation, the corporation would pay taxes on that. And then when you get the distribution or the dividend as the shareholder, you pay taxes again, And so a lot of people don't like paying taxes twice on the same dollar. And so, that's why, LLC is a better vehicle to for most companies. I mean, if in the future, if Stoners Haven were to say go public on a stock exchange, like the New York Stock Exchange, then at that point, likely it would convert into a corporation. But as a private company, they're able to pass through some of those tax benefits onto the investors directly, whether it's related to, capital expenditures or which, like in your industry, there are quite a few of, capital costs related to farming equipment and, production and labor costs. And a lot of those things a lot of those uh, expenses could be passed through to the investors, right? And then, of course, profits from the business as well, right? So it's we call it a pass-through entity for that reason. Um, uh, I probably put everybody to sleep just now, so that's
No, they're awake. They're lively. They're
exciting
lively.
stuff, right? Yeah.
It is exciting. They're exciting. So considering cannabis isn't, federally legal, throughout the U.S., how can one invest safely and feel like they're still on the right side of the law and not, because it kind of gets into a gray area. There's a little bit of confusion there. So how would you best explain that?
Yeah, certainly. We do live in a federal system. There's the federal government and then state government, right? So the main thing when you look at cannabis, you definitely want to make sure that it's legal in the state where the cannabis company is operating. And obviously, New Mexico it's 100% legal, right? And so when it comes to the federal and both federal and state securities laws, securities laws are very much agnostic when it comes to the actual, underlying product, right? They don't make any sort of moral judgment as to, well, should this be legal? Should it not be? I mean, as long as you provide full and fair disclosure, and and in fact, if you look at the Stoners Haven offering statement, I mean, there's a fair amount of full and fair disclosure there that, hey, you know what? Laws are, like anything else, subject like the weather, right? They're subject to change, right? We can't always predict what the laws are going to be or do. It kind of depends on, who's running the show at the state capitol and Washington D.C., right? So that's always going to be in change and flux, right? And for the most part, investors take that into account. They know, look, there's no there's no guarantees in life, right? I mean, there's no way we can totally guarantee that laws are going to change in the future. But what we can do is say, hey, look, based on the current laws in effect, we know that we're on solid ground in the case of our operation, and we've got the proper licenses and all of that. And certainly with a company as dynamic as Stoners Haven, I mean, obviously you certainly need to, the management team is mindful that, hey, things might change, right? And you have to have the ability to pivot. I think that's why, taking a good look at the management team is critical in any kind of investment, right? Regardless of what it is, right? Certainly do they have the flexibility to pivot if needed, because, not always is what you believe, hey, this is our game plan, this is our current course of action, but based on there's a variety of different things that could happen. Laws could change, pandemics happen,
Right.
Stuff happens, right? So yeah, so I mean, yeah, so I think if you have a strong management team like Stoners Haven, where they're not like set in stone, like, hey, it's our way or the highway, but they've got the flexibility to make changes where it's needed, and obviously, doing all the right things from the beginning, and we certainly, working with Judy and her team, made sure, hey, Judy was very, very. I think we spent several months in the beginning, just, hey, we need to make sure this is on a solid footing, solid foundation, because she really had a vision along with her team. Hey, we really want to make this. We're not just going to go grow some marijuana in a field and try to make some money at it. It's no. She had a big, really grand vision, and so, yeah, certainly took the time to make sure, hey, we've got a solid foundation with the operating agreement and everything, and obviously getting the management team in place even before she took the next step to start raising capital, right? And so I think, regardless of whether it's Stoners Haven or whatever kind of company you're looking at investing in, you just want to make sure, hey, does it have all the proper paperwork? Does it have full disclosure? And obviously in Stoners Haven, we've made sure that that's all in place, right? So that, investors can have confidence that, this is not just a back of the napkin kind of thing, right? Hey, you want to invest in my company? Here, give me some money. No, it's legit, right? So anyway, we're glad to have helped, put all that together and, make sure that it's on, 100% legal and all the rest of it. And obviously, being conducted under regulation crowdfunding, which I guess we can talk about. It's a federal rule that is good to go in all 50 states, and so all anybody from anywhere in the country, even if you're in a state like right now, I'm in Utah, right, and they have legalized cannabis here, but very, very limited. Like you got to have a dispensary, and it's very like legal in a very limited way, right? And very different than, say, Oregon and New Mexico, obviously. But the good news is that, like, a Utah investor, or any, it doesn't have to be Utah, but anywhere, even if it was illegal, like I think Alabama is still. Anyway, I'm not. The laws are always in flux, right? So, but yeah, I mean, I think even if the cannabis itself is illegal in the state you're in, there's nothing preventing you. There's nothing illegal about you investing in a company that is operating in a state where it is legal, right? There's no law against holding interest in a company that is operating legally elsewhere, right? So, that's the nice thing about regulation crowdfunding, is because it is a federal rule. It as long as you're conducting it under regulation crowdfunding, you're good to go in all 50 states, U.S. territories, and in some cases, international investors as well could still invest in a company like Stoners Haven, right? So we're big fans of regulation crowdfunding because it it used before regulation crowdfunding, a lot of people would complain because they say, well, look, only rich people get to invest in these startup companies, right? Like, if you had the opportunity to invest in Facebook or Google or back 10 years ago, well, you really could, if you wanted to put $10 into, Facebook, you couldn't, right? You were limited, unless you were like an accredited investor or institutional type investor. Those are the people that make all the money when these companies blow up and become super successful, right? And the little guys and gals, they sort of have to wait till the company is public, and then by that time, yeah, okay, great. Now you can go buy stock,
right,
on the stock exchange if you wanted to, but you don't get to invest at the ground level, right? Whereas, regulation crowdfunding really has changed that game, and it has opened it up for And that was the whole purpose back when, President Obama signed it into law a number of years ago. It really didn't get a lot of press and attention. I mean, nobody really thought, oh, okay, well, this is interesting. This is a new law. And it really has taken a while for it to catch on and people to actually start using it.
Right.
But, again, it just opens the door for small investors investing small amounts of money to it really is the crowd, right? We talk about the crowdfunding, right? What is it? It's a lot of small people, pooling their capital together and, having the opportunity to invest in something. And obviously you're not going to put your whole life savings into it, right? You're not going to go mortgage your house and put your money. No, you're going to be smart about it,
Right.
Because a lot of people, okay, they have a little bit of money that, hey, you know what? I like this company. I like this team. I like their products. I like their vision. Okay, well, why wouldn't I put a little bit of money instead of having to go put it into something like like a savings account, or which probably not the best investment, right? Or I've got to go buy a mutual fund or something like that. And that's, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's hard to get excited about a mutual fund, right? Like, oh, well, this is, it's like kind of boring, right? Whereas, especially if you're, if you're a customer of the product, or if you're excited about the product, the whole intent of regulation crowdfunding was to allow really anybody to invest, invest and take a shot at some companies that could eventually become great, and again, no guarantees, but at least you have the opportunity. Whereas before regulation crowdfunding, you just couldn't do it; it wasn't allowed, right? And so just the high net worth people could do it, and the masses, the people on the street, couldn't do it, right? Whereas now regulation crowdfunding, anybody can really do it, so it's great.
Right. So in terms of if someone does invest in Stoners Haven, what does that mean? Like, do they directly own part of it, or what exactly does that mean for them?
Yeah, that's a great question. You actually buy a unit of membership interest. It's called. It's a membership interest, which is basically it's equity, it's ownership. You own a piece of the company, right? Same as you would buying a share of stock in Facebook, or I'm sorry, Meta, Meta platforms now, right? Okay, so, or Google, right? Or Alphabet, their parent company, right? So, same exact thing, right? You're going to own a piece of the company, and you're going to benefit from, that unit of membership interest or share of stock, is you have ownership, right? And you get to benefit from being an owner of the company for as long as you hold it. I mean, you could sell it maybe in the future, just hold on to it for dividends in the future. And obviously, when the company makes profits, what does it do with it? Well, it distributes it to their owners, right? Their members, right? And so that's really how it's structured. And so that's how that works,
Awesome. I honestly, I forgot the whole difference between how it's almost like new, or like a new day and age for the little guy, or like more people to have the opportunities. So I'm actually glad you brought that up, because a lot of people may not have known, or may, be like me, be like, oh yeah, that is the thing. Like, so I really appreciate you coming on tonight. And like, I know we made some jokes like, oh, they're going to fall asleep. But honestly, like, I was right there with you the whole time, and like had to look at myself a couple times, like, am I still like looking okay? Like, so I really jumped in. You did it. Like, I really appreciate you coming out tonight. And I'm sure all of our fans did too. I'm going to work on merch. I've decided after every show, I'm going to find some merch for all of us, like a little saying and everything. So I'll figure yours out and I'll send you the link. But I would wear a Darin t-shirt, because you were awesome. And I really appreciate you coming out here tonight and just, enlightening all of us with your wisdom and your wizardry, because you are the wizard behind the scene. He's the Oz behind the curtain, keeping everything together. making your investment safe. So thank you again. And do you have any final words or any advice for, last minute, like, hey, this is why you guys should invest with us?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think, no, yeah, I appreciate you having me on the show. Yeah, we're super glad to have Stoners Haven as clients, as a client. And yeah, we're certainly glad to, like I said, like with any investment, you just have to weigh the pros and cons. It's like, hey, if you need that $50 to pay your phone bill, well, don't put that money in. That'd be dumb, right? But if you have it available and you're willing to take a little bit of risk in a company, then you might consider taking a shot and be buying some interest in the company. And yeah, I think anything else, you want to be feel like, and that's what I get from Stoners Haven, is like it feels more like not just some stodgy corporation that you may own a piece of, but yeah, it's more like a community. And so I think it's, if anything else, it'd be just exciting to say, oh yeah, I own a piece of that company, and you're proud of it, right? So anyway.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you so much again. I hope we have you back out here soon. Had a great time getting, one-on-one, getting to know you and hanging out this evening.
Yeah.
Guys, make sure you follow, engage with us, like it up, ask him questions so we get him back on here. Who doesn't want more Darin, Daring with Darin. Look, it's already happening. we're going to get you some rock solid merch. Like, I don't know if we ship to Puerto Rico, but I will personally ship it to Puerto Rico if I have to.
Okay. Yeah. I'll just come down and visit. It's a great place. Nice beaches.
Perfect. Wow. So. Like I needed an incentive to go to Puerto Rico, but now I have one that just works in my face.
You got to bring the merch down. You bring it on down.
I'll be sure. Maybe I'll forget it, so I have to go back twice. Like, oh no.
There you go.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining us, guys. Thank you again for joining us. Make sure you like, follow, ask us questions. If weren't able to watch us live and you're watching the recording, type in the comments, send us a message. We'll get it to Darin. Darin will get you your answers. And I did want to mention the MainVest link. It's going to be in our bios. Make sure you guys are investing. Invest in Darin. Look at him. Take a chance. Get Daring with Darin. Like, he knows what he's talking about. He's got your back. If you don't trust me, how could you not? Look at this golden retriever energy. Darin's got your back. Okay. Like, Matt's the compliance guy. He had our back there, but Darin, he's the legal guy. He knows his stuff. He's going to have your back. So it's $100. I say we do it. 2 people. I just need 2 people this week. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.